Okay. Like broadcast. Who's your guy? Spiral, not only me while I. I did, yeah, with my guy. Domo, wadomo, why say look me? Who's your guy? Okay. Why I always say ultimate carry nice. Move your bar, you will do. Where say Adomo. Yeah. Share the video. Let's share the video so we can have a very robust. Yes and no, man. I think you and I have discussed about yes and no before. I think I even referred you to a book written by Dr. Aisene Hagosa on the history of yes and no. So I pick. So let's share so we can go viral. I always say Amowie. We are talking about a very intelligent topic. Anytime you are around, just let me know. I'll give you a copy. I'll dash you a copy of the book. There's a full chapter dedicated to yes and no. He's done. Do you want to join us on our video? So, but let's share the live video so it can go viral. We are talking about a very intelligent topic today. As I did here with my guy. So we're discussing a very important topic. We shall be discussing about three things. First, we're going to talk about, summarily, we're going to talk about echo. I heard a lot of persons were saying that of what use are we talking about it? Some of our people are very dumb, to be very candid. They think that they are smart, that they are intelligent, but they are actually dumb. For them to say, of what use are we discussing about the eco history? All right, if someone come to claim your father's house for 200 years or 300 years, and there was an opportunity of history to discuss that house that you are claiming is not your own, but my father's house. That is not too much to ask. Even if the present generations of Benin are too scared, are too cowardice to take actions about their father's land, we are hoping that the generations after us will not be as coward as the current generation of us. Will not be as coward like our generation. Right? So it is in the retrospective minds of that I'm connecting to all of you that if it's not comfortable with you, sorry, I'm having calls coming through. We will have fearless generations of Benin that will fight for that land. But the little that we, this generation, that I, Izoduwa, can do at this very point of history is to provide clear historical evidence for a generation that will eventually come after us, that will not be as cowardice as our present generation like we presently are, that we take the bull, the bull by the horn, or the horn by the bull. Big English. All right, but the point is that somehow we have to provide those very historical facts. It will make us to ascertain some very thing. So summarily, I'm going to talk a little bit about some article immediately after I did factually establish some point as regards the ownership of a co. I started to hear some articles. Now, what is most interesting is this. What is most interesting in all of this is that dates is very paramount. Dates is very paramount. When you want to tell an history of a person and there is no date attached to it, it means that there are possibilities that that history might be fucked up. But for the very first time I've ever seen any Yoruba person attempted to write the Benin invasion, according to them, the Benin invasion of Eko, was an article I saw about a week ago. It was beautiful. I didn't even care to know who wrote the article, but the point was that what I was interested in is the dates. When did the Benins invaded Eko? Thank God they were able to provide a date for us. That becomes the basis of an historical argument that makes it even clearer to say that, bros, you people lied, though. This cannot be true. Based on what you wrote. I want us to be very clear about that. The date that was protruded was 1690. That the Benins invaded Lagos in the year in the year 1790. Sorry. They said, according to that article, that the Benins invaded Lagos, Eko, in the year 1790. In the year 1790. So it makes it a lot easier for we to present our argument by the intellectual works that have been presented by the Yorubas, by arguing that the year that we invaded Eko was in the year 1790. So that makes it even clearer. And that makes us to have a sense of an historical superior debate. First, we know the Oba that got to Eko. So, if they say that the Benin invaded Eko in the year 1790 and their worries were there, the Yoruba people were already there when we invaded Eko in the year 1790, they are partly correct. They are partly correct. Because in the year 1790, there were already a lot of Yorubas in Eko. That is the argument. In the year 1790, that the Yorubas are put forward that the Benins invaded Lagos is very correct. That we invaded Lagos in 1790, that they were already Yoruba people, which they call Aworis, even if other historical accounts has proven that even the Aworis themselves were not actually Yoruba people. But assuming that the Aworis were Yorubas, in the year 1790, it is very correct that the Aworis were already in Eko. We don't have to disprove that because that's the date that they are provided. But the true history said that it was not in 1790 that we got to Eko, that we founded Eko. The Benins have already gotten to Eko over 200 years earlier by our historical account. Understand this. Obarogba reigned in the year 1547 to 1580. At the time, no Nwenya Dokun, at the time, no Toyari Orue, at the time, Obarogba has sojourned to the land of the great beyond in 1580. 1580 minus 1790 is 210 years. So the Yorubas are telling us, from the account that I read, that we invaded Lagos 210 years earlier, haven't founded Lagos 210 years earlier. That we invaded Lagos 210 years later, over 210 years later, haven't founded Lagos over 210 years earlier. I don't know whether we understand the argument. And according to their account that it was in 1790 that the Benins invaded Lagos, that is a discrepancy to our account because it was practically impossible. The Oba that was on the throne at that time was Oba Akenbuda. There is no historical account on the Benin history that says that Oba Akenbuda ever left the shores of Benin and traveled to Eko. There are no historical accounts. But there are plausible historical account that buttresses that Obarogboa founded Eko. He introduces common salt to the Benin. How do you speak this English? Cuisine. He introduces salt to the Benin cuisine. The salt that the salt that the Benin used to have. The plantain, the back of the plantain, we'll dry them, then we'll grind them. That was what the Benins were using as that was what was in vogue. Onim Edoya Alebai until Obarogboa went far to the present Eko and founded it and brought salt. Obarogboa introduced I've forgotten it. What's the chemical composition of salt? Sodium, is it sodium chloride? Yeah, sodium chloride. He introduces sodium chloride to the Benin cuisine. So there are historical facts that pointed that the Benins were already there as far back as 16th century. But the account that the Yorubas had is that we invaded there in 18th century. in 18th century. So, the discrepancies opens a channel of an historical conviction of the truth. It completely opens it. The Yoruba said we invaded Lagos in 1790. That is not true. The Benins have already been there over 200 years earlier. So, they need to get their ass back. Remember when I was having historical debate with the Shekiris on the Ikaye, an imaginary figure that they call the Ikaye. They didn't know it, they have the same character with the Yorubas, obviously. They didn't know when the Benin Akure war happened, but they were aware of Ikaye, but they didn't know when. They didn't know until Izoduwa brought the real fact that it was in the war of 1818 AD and how the Benins defeated Akure. And no historical book ever mentioned the Kaye except the ones that were done or recently edited by them. No historical books in the early 90s or 80s and 70s. I challenged them at that time for them to bring it. They were unable to provide it. They didn't even know when that war took place. After I had done my live video, then I begin to edit their history. I'm sure in their usual manner, whenever I'm done with this, the Yorubas can also go and edit their history and probably backdate it to 15th century or 16th century. Because Oba Arugba became the Oba in the year 1547. By my mathematical calculation, if he was crowned in 1547, it will take him, because in his first 3 years, he was training his military at Uzebu quarters. So it was it was in his 5th year, by my own mathematical calculation, which is almost will be accurate. All right, because there were laws of warfare that when an Oba is coronated, after 5 years should engage in anything warfare. So when you add 5 years plus 1547, that will make it 1552. So it is most probably in the year 1552 AD that the Benins founded Eko. I'm giving you fact. Izoduwa has just given fact that it is about the year 1552 that the Benins founded Eko, 1552. And they said that it was in 1790 that the Benins invaded Eko. And in 1790, the Oba that was on the throne was Oba Akengbuda. What military expertise? At that time, the Obas of Benins were not even going to war anymore. What military expertise did Oba Akengbuda had that made him to embark in invading? The Benins were no longer, at that time of history, the Benins were no longer invading. We were not expanding, we were constricting. At that time of history, in the reign of Oba Akengbuda downwards, it was Oba 7 there that tried to start expanding again. Oba 7 there tried to expand successfully. Adolo successfully expanded until Ovorame. Ovorame would. Sorry, I think my volume is okay. Ovorame would have expanded, as a matter of fact, but because of his reign was short-lived by the British invasion. But at the time of Oba Akengbuda, which the Yorubas have presented that was the year that we invaded, 1790, that was the year that we invaded, it was practically impossible for the Benins to invade in 1790. I have just said, at that time of history, the Benins were no longer expanding, we were constricting, we were losing our territories because there were no warrior kings. The time that we expanded was between the mid-15th century and the late 16th century. It was a period of about 150 years. That was the primus of the Benin greatest time. And it is within that range of history that Obarogba founded Eko in about 1552 AD. These are historical discrepancies that I wanted to straighten out. We do facts. We don't do rhetorics. We don't do them say. All right? We do fact. We don't do rhetorics. We don't do they say. Benin has facts. Benin has dates. That is the summary of what I wanted to discuss about. All right? That's a summary of what I wanted to talk about. So I want us to have the background knowledge that they have written 1790, and for us to take note of this live video that should, in case you now hear them now saying that the Benin's invaded in 1552 or thereabout, just know that they have edited it in their usual mannerism. But for what I've seen on the public domain in the past 1 or 2 weeks, said it was 1790. All right, but that is clearly very wrong. That cannot have been possible. It's historically impossible. That's what I'm saying. The Benins did not invade anywhere in 1790. We were shrinking. We were no longer expanding. It was within the mid-14th century and late 15th century that we expanded. That was the greatest. That was the primal state of our expansion. And that was the time that Eko was founded. It was within that cycle. All right? Well, historically, Korode, Peter, Kengbemi, even their warriors themselves are not Yoruba, but that's a debate for another day. But I have explained with facts, except you are able to prove what year the Benins got. You people do not have facts. What you have is lies. What you have is, how do I say it? There's this English word that you use when you maneuver things. You don't have facts, you don't have details. These are detail number 1. Obarogba founded Eko. Detail number 2. He was a sailor. He was a sailor king. Detail number 3. Around about 1552. If you are able to prove that they were warriors in that area in mid 16th century, then you and I can have issues that we can talk about. Not when you say that we invaded. How? And when you said you invaded, thank God you people put a date in 1790. I've clearly explained. It was practically impossible for the Benins to have invaded in 1790 because we were no longer expanding. But in the 15th, 16th century, we were expanding. And at that time, there is no history written anywhere by any account, European, even Yoruba account. I'm challenging you now, except if you can bring an account of 2023, which you people will do. But there is no account in European archive or Yoruba archive that said that there were anybody in Eko in the mid 16th century. But we have it well archived that Obarogba was at Eko in the mid 16th century, and that would have been around 1552. And again, their warriors are not Yorubas. Like I said, that is a discussion for another day. Having established this very fact, let's talk about another very interesting topic. Like I said, a co-summary. I don't want to dwell on that. I have 3 topics I need to dwell on. All right. So, topic number 2. Topic number 2 is about a bit. I don't want it to be like a scandal. It's about a Nige issue. And currently, I was told that I have been petitioned by people, I don't want to mention their names, but obviously the former Enogi or the ex-Enogi of Egbain had a hand in it. They have been petitioned that I was the one who caused the crisis in Egbain and all of that. But I don't want to defend myself. I've requested that the petition letter should be sent to me. Let me have a look. Once they are able, once the community I heard he has been arresting some of the community. That's a fight that we must fight and finish. Definitely. I'm not a guy who will run from any fight. So, but I don't want to speak more on the issue until I'm able to have a hold on the petition letter, which I've requested, that they should give me a copy of it until I'm able to have a hold of the petition. Then until I'm able to have a hold of the petition, then we can now discuss issues. We are not afraid. Now police will go. Now court will go. All right. When they were writing the useless letter that they wrote, they didn't know that it was going to backfire. I was not the one who instigated what befell them, or what has not befallen some of them. It is not in my place. We only told them to have a rethink of the decisions that they have taken. The rethink of the decisions that they have taken will have an adverse effect on them, and that adverse effect has been given to them. We say that if they have the mind to challenge that which has given, that which has created them, it takes, to render them irrelevant, takes a flip of the finger of the Oba of Benin, and which the Oba of Benin has exercised his power and his authority. Let them go to court. Let them go to court now to retrieve back the Enogi. Let the court now, or whoever that is behind them, now come out publicly to announce to the Edo people that the Oba of Benin does not have power. That is where we are waiting for them. So that is where we are waiting for them. So they are there talking rubbish. Now, the last video, if you remember, the last video I did, I was peaceful. Even some of them started to say that I'm afraid that I'm peaceful, because I had a conversation with someone I think I used to respect. But after, when I went to meet with him, we had a very fatherly and son conversations. I even did a video unpublished. The only person that I've seen that video is Comrade Osaze Edigin. That I've seen that video. Thank God I didn't publish that video. I was seeking for peace because he made me see reasons that peace was the only formula. But I didn't know that he was deeply involved in this, behind these people who are trying to balkanize Benin Kingdom. Quite an unfortunate episode that these people would have painted me to be a very bad person, of a Omanemoyi, because I felt he was neutral. The angle he was speaking from was an angle of someone that was neutral to the Benin cause. Someone who has always respected, but I'm not going to mention the name. But along the line, I found out that a lot of these people that we think that we respect, they are very well involved in all of this conspiracy. I heard that they have taken the matter to court, that they want to retrieve that the Ojonwe at Egbai is not supposed to be Ojonwe that he has on Okaigbe, all right, blah, blah, blah. Then that the Enogi must return back through court. So, but let them know that I will get hold of the petition. When I get hold of the petition, they told me that we should not be fighting ourselves in public. I pulled down the strings. I never spoke about that matter since that very time. I even called for peace. But now, they have petitioned me. I'm going to see the petition. And when I see the petition, then that public, and they say they will not be drawing ourselves, we'll come to the public so that we will draw ourselves very well. We'll draw ourselves very well. And for people should understand these things very clearly. Whatever thing that I do or say here, it is of my own doing. It is of my own doing. I want to say it often time. I'm not giving. Nobody sends me any message. People still think now say Oba Benin, they send me with and they talk. When I feel that there is a matter that needs to be addressed, I come out and I address it, taking full responsibilities for all the things that I say, for all the things that I do. I want it to be very clear. They have insiders inside the palace. They have strong insiders. In all of this, all of the insiders, when they say they get for inside palace, have they ever heard that I do things. I look at things. I'm a proud Binima. If I see that I speak on it with free mind, taking full responsibilities of what that I have said on social media, taking full responsibilities. I have been defending the kingdom. When we're defending the kingdom against these hooligans, they are Ghanaian hooligans. Is it that these same people that are called elites, that are educated, they didn't know that their Ghanaians are infidels? Or let me not use the word infidels. They are, there's a word that they use, someone who, imposters to the throne. All right? Sort of, they are imposters. They are aware of the history. Clearly, where I've been with them, they know this history. None of them ever came out and said that. They didn't come out. This same Izoduwa came out. When things have been going on, when people are trying to destroy our history, this same Izoduwa defend the history. They don't do anything. Then they still not have a mind to not tell me I'm doing their work, the work they are supposed to have done since Ake Bima na Iamawe Rockba. It been a no sectors and do so and been a historically for past 50 years. Now we now can fight them. They know even they appreciate what we're fighting, and they are still looking for a way to destroy the history that our ancestors have been given better. And yet they are so proud of the history, but they don't know that the Oba of Benin is the most integral aspect of the history of the land. I want to say this very clearly. I might not repeat it again for those who feel that I hate Godwin Obaseki. For those who think that I hate Godwin Obaseki, I want to say it for the opting time. If there is any Edo man, I'm saying it, who should support Godwin Obaseki the more, it's supposed to be Imaswe and Amowie Izoduwa. If there is any Edo man who has benefited more from Obaseki's government, it is Imaswe and Amowie Izoduwa. You see all those people who sees wrong and wants to defend right, they have not benefited anything from Godwin like Izoduwa has. And I will explain how. The first and the only job I ever got was in Edo Geographic Information Service. That was the creation, the idea of Godwin Obaseki's government. It is that place that I worked for 5 months that catalyzed my idea to, that sort of prepared me into land administration. And today, I'm almost becoming an household name in Edo State when it comes to rehousing estate developer. That is as a result of the policies Obaseki created that I was part of, that enabled me, that prepared me in the line of the business that I am, that puts millions of naira monthly into my account, which is more than what he pays a lot of SSA, SA. So the money, no brags, that I make will be like what some SSAs or SA makes, 100 of them makes in a year. And I make them in months. So if anybody is supposed to come out and say, Godwin Obaseki, you have done well, it's supposed to be Izoduwa. But the point is this, I have never criticized him, whether he has done roads, whether he has done electricity, whether he has done that. For me, it's not my headache. It's not my headache. I have never criticized him based on the policies that he has created. My only criticism of him is as regards of the policies that he's trying to create to balkanize Benin Kingdom. Now, this is it. People mistake two things for one thing. If you don't like Obaewa II, there's a difference between Obaewa II and Oba of Benin. Obaewa II is the monarch. Oba of Benin is the monarchy. Oba of Benin is the institution. Obaewa II is the present occupant of the institution. If, for example, I don't like Godwin Obaseki, it does not mean I hate democracy. If I have the power, for the fact that I don't like Godwin Obaseki, it means that I must destroy democracy. Because I don't like him. For example, if I don't like Buhari, does not mean that I should destroy democracy. Alright, if I don't like him, I don't like him. The truth is that in all the history, I'm a good product of history. There were always people at every times and era of any Obas of Benin that were antagonists to that to that Oba at that time. No Oba. If you do research categorically, no Oba of Benin that has never had any antagonist. In short, there is no king in the entire world that does not have an antagonist during his era. No king. So that's a statement of fact. But I do not hold any Edo man. I see them. I've interacted with a couple of them. They'll say they don't like the present occupant of the throne. Alright? Beautiful. It is not strange. In the history of Benin, it is not strange. Someone said, when the British invaded in 1897, that it's even good that the British has invaded, that Oheke or man of Wedoigbe Anamiewo Bayiredu was a prominent chief. Let me not cause another chaos historically on the social media. Otherwise, I would have mentioned the prominent chief that said it at that time of 1897. Not Obaseki, not any of the Obaseki. It was one of the chiefs at that time of history that said it. Off where the Gbin Ayimio Bawedo. Alright, but from that 1914, after 17 years, the throne returned, the occupant returned, the monarch returned, and it has proceeded, it has survived to this very day. So they have always been antagonists. That should not be our problem. Edowe Haserio. Miami bad lovier. Miami bad lovier. Viuhunda Odokba. No. But let me tell you what is bad. Let me tell you what is wicked. Let me tell you his sins that I feel is heart of wickedness. I don't want anybody to insult Abeg Walao. I don't want, there shouldn't be insults and all of that, please. Nobody should insult. I'm just trying to put it very clearly because I've been accused that why do I hate this guy so much? Alright? I do not hate him because he disagrees with the monarch. If anybody says he doesn't disagree with the monarch, they are all living in fool's paradise. Because if you are close to him, you should know. Well, some of us are also close to the palace, so we know. So this is not an Oreo. Yes, let me not call Oreo. Someone who does not have details of these issues, not telling me that I have first class details of this issue, that can sit you down and lecture you for 5 hours. No one is saying that anybody is perfect. No one shouldn't say that the Oba of Benin is a god king, but is a human. Yeah, there could be imperfections, but let's not dwell on all of that. But when it transcends beyond that limit, and you now said that because you hate the present occupant, that you want to tear apart Benin Kingdom, that is wizardry, that is wickedness, that is devilish. That is what I detest. If you hate the present occupant, let it stay there. Let it stay there. Not to say you must divide Benin Kingdom in order for you to prove a point. That is my beef about him. That is my beef about him. I'm saying it so that people will understand. That is my beef. My beef is not whether he's a good governor or he's not a good governor, whether he's performing excellently well or he's not performing excellently well. That's not my beef. We could go on and sit and argue all of that, whether he's doing well or he's not doing well. But I have never criticized him based on such ideas of whether he's performing well as an excellent governor. But all I can say that one of his policies has opened doors for some young realtors like us and some other my friends who are practically doing well. We have exported our ideas from Benin, and some of us are now in Lagos, some of us are now in Abuja, some of us are now in Asaba, some of us are now in Port Harcourt. Because he created the policies that enabled us to do these things, which is beautiful. We are supposed to be the one. We are supposed to be the one. We are supposed to be the one. We are supposed to be the one who clamors. We are supposed to be the one who are in the greatest support. But just like Jefferson have asked, what is the reason of the hate? I have just explained it. If you hate the present occupant of the Benin throne, it should stop there. Not everybody should like Obaewari. I have explained there's a difference between Obaewari II and the Oba of Benin. Obaewari is the monarch. Oba of Benin is the monarchy. If you hate the monarch, but don't try to destroy the monarchy. Don't try to destroy the monarchy by trying to raise Ogiame and some other persons. We are aware of that. That is my beef. I don't expect every Edoma to love the present Oba of Benin. It has never happened. So when a lot of them slide into my DM and I tell them that, okay, fine. Since you say Obaewari II did this, that, and this, is that enough that the kingdom should be balkanized? Is that enough for the kingdom to be balkanized? That has been my argument. No, you cannot. No, Giame. When you said is Ogiame not an historical fact, in what essence did you say that? Ogiame has over the years become even more of like a fictitious character. The only realistic character of the Ogiame is the patriarch. Is a patriarch of the Ogiame family, which is Evian. Evian was an administrator in Benin Kingdom. After the passing of Evian, that line was blocked off by Benins to never exist. The only existence that they now subsequently had was an establishment of a title by Oba Ewedo. Oba Ewedo. So Ogiame existed only, is an historical fact only as a chieftaincy title of Benin Kingdom. The only one who was in a region of greatness of its own was Evian, and Evian only served in the capacity of an administrator. That is a clear historical fact that in other of my subsequent classes I have dealt with that. So, like J. Jefferson asked me, that is my beef about him. My brother Emotian said that no one can. No, that you can't. That's not true. No. In all histories of Benin, people hated the monarch. Some people did. You cannot tell me who to like, who to hate. As a matter of fact, you cannot choose a friend from me. You can choose to hate the present monarch. That is left for you. You might have a reason that could be valid or could be invalid. That is not in my place to challenge you for that decision. But what I can challenge that I said is wicked is you hating the monarch is not enough, but you going further to say that you must destroy the kingdom in order to prove how much you hate the monarch. That is what is wrong. And that is my beef against him. And that is my beef against him. Because a lot of people have been asking, and some even accuse me in recent times that I'm trying to drag the palace into politics. I'm the one guy who never drags the palace into politics. I say things not because I want to get a favor. Who? Which politician? I have said it in a million times. That I stand here as a man in Izoduwa. I have never been to any politician's house in the past 7 years. The last time I ever went to a politician's house was when I went to tell one politician in Orion South that I wanted to defend the kingdom, and as well, I would no longer, because then they were projecting me for a political appointee. I rejected it. Then I said, I want to fight for my kingdom. That was the last time. God and our ancestors have blessed me too much for me to even follow any politician in Benin. I'm serious. If I'm to follow any politician in Benin, it will be based on business. He has a business. I have a business proposition. Probably he wants someone to execute a business program. If, for example, now Obaseki now wants to create estates and he's looking for indigenous developers like us to hand over the project, then we can talk business. That's the level that I want to relate with government. Not to be a yes sir to them. No. For how much? I know that if a Doma generally gives you 500,000, if he's a politician, he's expecting you to worship him. Alright? He's expecting you to worship him. Sure, son, 500,000, I will freak me. That's what I tell some of the one guy is always fond of calling me land grabber. A man tera ni grab do. I have lands in a workman at Sapler Road. I have land at Uregin. I have land that's Upper Airport Road. I have land at Ute, Izoduwa bypass. Then my current estate is at Uhie, off Sapler Road, immediately after the bypass. Then I also have in Abuja. If you should go to each and every of the communities. That's why I'm giving you the names: Workman, Uregin, Ute, and Uhie. You go to any of the communities to ascertain if Izoduwa grabbed 50 by 100. There Igoge or ya Dawo Tony. I even heard one idiot was saying that Oba has contracted me to be selling Oba's land. And I also, that's why I've mentioned these names, so that you people can also go to these communities now to ascertain each and every of these land if they are Oba's land. They tell you Izoduwa. So instead of you people to talk matters that have valid points, factual matters, you talk because you were able to cross the Mediterranean Sea, see Morocco, see Spain. You not think that some of us work fucking harder than some of you, and we end way better than some of you in overseas. But because if you're in overseas, you not talk down on us as if that we have to take yes sir. But let's leave all of that. But I just wanted to clarify some of these issues, and some of the people who say I have beef with the governor and all of that. Why do I hate this man? So I don't hate him. Why should I hate him? But if anybody should be clapping for this man every day, supposed to be me, because his policies that he created is putting food on my table every day. I've said this is almost like the 6th or the 7th time that I have said this. But my beef against him is not him having issues with the monarch. Some say he doesn't. Well, that's your own opinion. My opinion is that he has issues with the monarch, the present monarch. I'm not trying to flare up or excite, because that's what they always say. Accuse me that it may excite a problem. But are you aware that the person you're saying is trying to excite problem is in a better place to advise you? Is in a better place. Some of you are close to the governor. Just like some of us are close to the monarch. Like close to the palace. So we hear things, not close to the monarch, now close to the palace. So we hear things very well. We hear things very well. And we know things very well. Way better than a lot of you. So no one is trying to excite the problem. But what I have said, having an issue with the monarch is not even the problem. But you're not trying to balkanize, to divide. That is what I have issues with. That is my beef. I don't have any other beef. They thought Doluk Besaplero Dio, they thought Doluk Bauchio, they thought Yukbaya Do, they thought Warner, they thought one. When houses were destroyed at Okioma, did you hear Izoduwa say anything about it? You understand? Did you hear Izoduwa talk anything about it? No, we didn't. We didn't. I didn't say anything about it. You understand? No. Yes, now. Or tell me more. If you see you talk on your web, but many may ye, megwa, or a lot of people have accused me that I no longer do a lot of live videos again because I'm so choked up with work. The competition is huge in Benin here. Anytime I travel to Abuja, I see one young boys of 25, 26, and I see the kind of ideas they are bringing into rehousing estates. It makes me want to work 100 times harder. So Monday to Sunday, I'm always in my estate. Why? So that I can bring innovative ideas on how to create and how to make sales and how to bring something that all of our Edo people can love. Something that will be appreciative to our people. So that is because we need to make that money, because we want to show our people how you can actually help the people, how you can actually help the land. I have slowed down. Izoduwa of now wasn't like the Izoduwa of a year, 2, 3 years ago in terms of defending. I'm slowing down. I need to make more money so that people who is going to take over from our advocacies, they will not have issues of finances. You don't need to worship Izoduwa. You don't need to write a 15 pages to Izoduwa before Izoduwa can say, if he has the capacity, before Izoduwa can say, we're mere 5 million. We're mere 5 million. Yaya we project in our Yasim Seredo. That is the support we never had. So, but we should not be in a place, we should not walk out the ladder to start making that money so that the younger generations coming below us who has that zeal and power will not be discouraged because there are no finances to support them. So that's why some of us, we are now working very hard. Not for our personal consumption anymore. But how do we use the little resources that we have to make a mark for Benin Kingdom? If we are not fighting, we should be able to support those who are willing to fight. So, these are issues that I've laid bare. So everybody's saying, anybody who is trying to say they want to petition me, they are trying to put more fuel in a matter that Izoduwa is no longer talking about. Because they say they are petitioning me, that's why I've been talking about a nigga matter. Because I know that Oboga Diasho, I have done my part. Enika or deal with Tiana. You know, so I get bivie imia whether yoga imia Stacy Idiga I said Idumo ya be a domo yi didn't hear Mr. by Mr. Domo ya be doing me whether he could not even wear beads. He didn't have any single beads in his body. But when we were trying to tell him that your pomposity will finish you. Your pomposity will finish you. Oh, people were around them. Were not too SF. When we try to tell them that the pomposity, I don't know what what happened to their mind? They were trying to defend that it will translate into development and growth. It will, by what? By what instance? To balkanize the kingdom for your own selfish interest? No. Rush hour, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that crossing the Mediterranean Sea is wrong. No, I was very specific. Even my own immediate elder brother crossed through the Mediterranean Sea. I was very specific. I was specific that those who were insulting us, that who is insulting what you and both of us are both fighting for, forming that they know better. So I categorize them in their own limitation of their ideas. They were forming overlords that man am I here webo. So I'm not trying to tell them that. Am I so wrong? Ni look here webo. You understand? But wana ni dwa form. Emani enegbe. A lot of them pass through the Mediterranean Sea, quite alright. But nima be enegbe wo be lewa. Nima enegbe wo ni emegwan kind. So if I didn't put it well, my brother and my sister, I apologize for that. But I was very specific. I was referring to that few myopic minds. Not every other Edo persons. Not every other Edo persons. So many times I was convinced that we should not be fighting ourselves on the social media. So I stopped. Only for the people who convinced me to stop fighting on the social media, I heard some of them were involved in the petitioning. In the petitioning of my name. Although it didn't call me petitioning. Otherwise, we'll fight dirty on this social media. We'll fight dirty on this social media. Is the Ogiame Palace an historical meaning that is recognized by UNESCO? No. No. The other time there was a video I did that is only, just Google it. Historical site in Nigeria that is recognized by UNESCO. I think one is in Osun State. I think it's only 3 historical sites that is recognized by UNESCO. I think one is in the north. I think 2 is in the north. I think Kanu, and one other state, Borno or Kebbi. Then one is in Osun State. Then there is one on the tentative list, and that one on the tentative list, it is not fully recognized by UNESCO, and that is the Benin Moat. That is the Benin Moat. It is on the tentative list, but not on the full-fledged list. Only 3 places are recognized by UNESCO in Nigeria. 2 in the north, 1 in Osun State. You can Google it. You can Google it. 2 in the north and 1 in Osun State. You can Google it. Go to UNESCO sites and look at historical sites. Then just type Nigeria. You will see it's only 3 that we have. So if any of them is telling you that Ogiame Palace is recognized as UNESCO, why? It is a national monument. National Nigeria monument. National monument, not UNESCO, not World Historical Centers, not World Historical Sites. It is only a national historical site. Do you understand? There's a big difference, Oteme. Let nobody deceive anybody. You understand? So it's not even the Ogiame that owns, the family people that owns that place. It is even federal government that owns that place. Because they don't even have the money to even set up 2 blocks. So let me not say some certain things because he hates my show. Let me not say so. Let me just leave it that way for the sake of peace. Let me not say anything. Only my comment. But what I just have explained for someone who keep asking me, why do I hate this guy so much? I don't hate this guy so much. I just said that if you don't like an institution, if you don't like an institution, good, but do not destroy that institution. If I don't like democracy, as a matter of fact, if I don't like Buhari, I don't like Buhari. But that does not mean that because of I don't like Buhari, we should dissipate democracy in Nigeria. For the fact that if I don't like Obaseki, I would say there should not be democracy again in Edo State. It's wrong. That becomes wickedness. Me not liking Obaseki is not wickedness. I have my reasons for not liking him. So you also have your reason for liking him. So Edowe Agmoyameba Lovie Vihunda Bokba. So I have my reasons. My reasons could be genuine or selfish. Your own reasons, that's the point, could also be genuine or selfish. But you do not have the sole power authority to substantiate whether your own is genuine while my own is fake, because you are not me. So allow you support him, defend him, also allow me criticize him, just like some of you also criticize the policies of Obaiwai. Have you ever seen Izoduwa go on any debate or any issues where people were criticizing Benin institution? You will never see me there. You don't get how many times you will tag me. I see all of these things. I will not talk because you know why? When a man has made up his mind on a certain matter, it's almost now let God now will change your mind. So all those arguments, I always call it back and forth argument, doesn't change a man's mind. It's just like you trying to change my mind, to change my loyalty from the Oba of Benin to anybody else. It's impossible. So that's why I also do not also bother. Put yourself in my shoe. That will give you the best frame of mind to judge any matter in Edo land. Put yourself in my shoe. So I happen to put people in my own shoe because I know that nobody can be able to talk me out of the loyalty I have for the Oba Benin. So also I don't bother talking people out of their loyalty to whoever they want to be loyal to. It's not only matter they come in. But what I now frown is when people are not trying to say that I should not be loyal to the Oba Benin. It makes me to think that it gets me very upset. Because at what point in time I have never told you not to be loyal to whoever you want to be loyal to. But what now gives you the impetus, the mind for you to not think that I will leave my loyalty for His Majesty for you? It's not possible. See, the truth is, people have always been thinking that with time, Mavis will stop being loyal to the Oba of Benin since 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020, 2000. A loyalty why is strong all the time. So people who are having that mindset, let me tell you, I do not have anything to lose or gain. I don't expect anything from the palace. I don't expect anything from the monarch. If you are very close to me, you will know what I am telling you. We don't I'm not like those people who are expecting one or two things from the palace. They don't get it. They change side. We see them on social media all the time. They have been expecting something from the monarch. They quickly change side. I don't want to mention names. We see them on social media. We see them. They are not snapping pictures with the governor because what they were expecting from the monarch, they didn't get it. We are not like Izoduwa is not like anybody. I'm not as I day here like this. I'm not expecting anything from the monarch. I am not. Let me say it again. At the time where I could not feed, I wasn't expecting anything from the monarch. I can comfortably take care of myself. Again, I'm here. I expect anything from the monarch. You understand? I'm not expecting anything from the monarch, so I can never be disappointed. I have nothing to lose. I have everything to gain. Because history will remember that I stood firmly. History will remember that I stood firmly when every other person were fledging apart. So, all of those people that are thinking that one of them told me, said, is Ovioba and his and Akenswa that Orakame. I told him that when we ye Enegwawaya Hyoto. So Obama Queen Wagi Hyoto. So you now feel that you want to start fighting the monarch. For me, Hyoto with my own money. I started my rehousing estate business with 4 million naira. My mom borrowed me 2 million. One man called Mr. Collins, I have never met with him. My dear, I always survey, we see your phone never again. On I borrowed me 1 million. Then my eldest brother borrowed me 1 million, 4 million naira. I used in starting my estate about 3 years ago. So, and that estate, God and our ancestors have sent my heart, has been growing from strength to strength. So if you want to buy land, you love what Izoduwa is doing. Izoduwa is not expecting anything from anybody other than if you want to buy land and you want to buy genuine land, hook me up or I will hook you up. And to every money that you invest in my estate, always know that a bulk of it is also going to be taken to defend the Benin cause. Only mare ya agbukpe lele omo no banedu. Mari wori magbukpe lele gwa agegwa. People should always understand. Monsieur Kwase, come and buy soon. So that all those people need me go yeah potpourri all the time. You understand? Agegwa. We are proud to use our mega resources to serve the palace. But for those of you who do not understand that, in December in my Yimoa, I bought over close to 200 yams. Because of the stress I was going through December, I wanted to buy cow. I bought about 200 yams. Specifically 141 yams. Then I bought a big goat. Iya Yimoa. Ima gegwa. No, my brother said, "Make I not talk. Might leave that matter the way it be." But the point I'm trying to say is, we have come to realize the importance of the royal majesty to the life of this land. Let me take you back to history for those who always want to use the arm of history to substantiate the effort. There is a particular history that has not been well recorded in the history books, most especially dating. Between Oba Olua and Oba Ozolwa, there's a 2 years interregnum that the Benin's did not put into there's a 2 years interregnum that the Benin's did not account for. 2 years. There was a 2 years gap between Obaolua and Obaozolua. Edoma Oba. Because they didn't want in 2 years, Benin became a war zone. Because their natural leader, all those people who are trying to balkanize Benin, they don't know history like you and I do. In the old, people have tried it. It was with severe consequences. 2 years. The Benin had no king. People trying to spring forth. Just like in they were not springing forth and not claiming territorial freedom for themselves. A disunited Edo land. Igban oriwu yin rogin yen. Me a say ti enekridi no gbela ka yin rogin yen. Asomon riri no rugo ton yin rogin yen. Me a say ti ono na o I forgot their names. But 11 to 14 strong men started fighting for territories within Benin Kingdom because there were no natural leader. When the chiefs, chiefs nika we coin this conspiracy when they now realize that wow, first, we are no longer relevant because those warriors, those generals of Obaiware's time, they want to take absolute control. They were the strongest. They were strong men. They want to take. Now, wow. So, if we don't get Oba, it don't be Edo your Dabaru. They had to quickly go and meet a seer on how to guide them to go and bring Ozolwa. Prince Okpame from Sabogida Ora. That was 2 years. Benin was almost grinded to the ground without the Aoba. That is what the history book says. So when we are not defending with our life, we understand history. And we cannot substitute our history for democracy, for a white man practices. I cannot substitute my own history for another man's history. I cannot substitute my own history for a white man's history. I cannot substitute the royal throne of my ancestors for a British ideology. So that's why we fight. Not that all my benefits, all my but because a matter no let any of them come out to say that it may deny is for my own selfish interest. Let any of them, I wait any of them to come out anytime, tag me that in Izoduwa is for a selfish interest. So, I have made it very clear. I have made it very clear of where my choice, of where my loyalty lies, and where my loyalty lies, I will defend with my life. Where anybody loyalty lies, they should also defend it with whatever they have. But what I do not like is that I will not tell you why your loyalty lies with whoever your loyalty lies. I will eat that one. Eat that one. So, but you don't try. Don't try it. You may eat tamu one and don't try it to tell me otherwise. In as far I'm not telling you where your loyalty lies, I said you should change it. You should also not tell me where my loyalty lies. Day your lane, make I day my lane. Respect your territory, let me respect my territory. Don't because my loyalty lies that you want to do everything that to harm me. Because where your loyalty lies, on my can't I do my own, you do your own. If you lie against where my loyalty lies, I will defend where my loyalty lies. With fact and with history. So if you also have, go and defend your own. If you say you want to not take me to court, if you say you want to not take me to court, and let's go to court. If you say you now want to not take me to court, and let's go to court. I heard I have been petitioned, so a petition in me. I'm a copy of it very soon. They tell matter no do you know. So if you use your own loyalty to spoil my own loyalty. My loyalty is to the Oba Bini. So if your loyalty is to Oba Seki, fine. You mark Bobo where we Bobo Gimeo. Emi have a raw wa un wa ma say iguan ladian. Emi have a raw ni mama we say wa be guan ladian. Wa be guan ladian. So but let's define. Everybody should bear his father's name. In my own case, my father's name is Y. You understand? That's my own father's name. If your own father's name is anything, where we are bio, me are bio, me we are bio, we bovoiro. No, nah. If you want to invest, they give you sure thing for investment. A princess, you bought something from me, they there. It can't lie. You understand? The surest investment you can invest in, as far as I'm concerned, is land. Because I'm in that ministry. You understand? If you invest on that ministry, and anything happens to investment, in short, I am very careful. I know a lot of people are looking for a day when one person will come on the social media. I know a lot of people are actually looking for that, but I can guarantee you, why me 40 man? So I am in a ministry of land, and land is the best investment. So if you are looking to invest in land. And I get a Boku, I get for Abuja, I get for Benin. That's how you invest. Oh, I will get. Wow, how we here? Who we here? Do my own way here. Who be boy? My boy. This is our new estate. We are building it. You see, these are what I like. Osaro. So I want to buy you. I go after this, so that you feel. I pay. And you know that nobody, if anybody wishes to take my land and my estate from me, I go baba. May I love your gate or get go. Mo go talk by company and I take me if you do away me on my own. It may take me 3 days where work where Monoba will attend to me. I'm his beloved son. Because if I pack can me head. So I'm also Obama so you are but me as I give you attend to me. Didn't you me on to me? You know now, princess, I know anything dabaru me legit, no. Legit. But so, make una my business, my investment page is Ugoro Investment Limited. Ugoro, I'm Ugoro. Just anywhere you see Ugoro, it's Izoduwa. Ugoro Investment Limited. We're also on YouTube, we're on Instagram. So go and follow us so that you can be seeing all our properties. What do I do to all? Invest. You people should not be afraid to invest. Why do you need you, but me Adava, me. You know, so I'll be taking the name of Benin Kingdom far and wide. Because obviously all the estates I have, they are names of the Ogisos, names of the Obas. names of the heroes and heroines of the land. So anybody wishes to ask me, why did you name your first estate Ise Estate? Ise was an Umadoba, Umade Ozolwa. Why did you name your second estate A Royal Court in Abuja, A Royal Estate in Benin? Ogishoye is the second king of Benin. So from there, I now start to tell the story. So I'm using even my own business to tell our history. So wari runsume ne ya ekwere. Oh ya ma we do ma. I don't know. I don't have your the governor not the bite. Monsieur Kwase. He not the bites. The governor not the bite. If I want to come, you understand, I have his own flaws, but it cannot be completely very bad. You know, like I said, without him, I probably would not have been doing this business today. So no matter how bad, or you bono ye, itan of edu, azen revo, or my baby revo, or buy a dollar evo. That means the good and the bad, or buy a dollar, or a dollar do ye. So nobody is bad that he does not have function to the growth of his system either way. So why it's not that I know some of my friends will not agree with me, but I say nama I be tian where the yesu. So I know why I was so this is about the story I wanted to tell you. The Yoruba said Benin conquered Lagos in 1790. That's wrong. That's not true. We had founded that land almost about 240 years earlier, before the date they are saying that we conquered it. So it's not possible. The era of Obayaken Buddha, the Benin were no longer expanding, we were shrinking. So there's no way we would have conquered any place. It was Obaorugbo at the time of the great expansions. The primus strength of the Benin, that was when Eko was founded by Obaorugbo. I've established that. And it was around about 1552. 1552. That was about AD 1552. That was when it was founded. That's when it was founded. So that's the first thing that I've explained. So let's Yoruba not deceive anybody. They are not. Our Benin history are too documented for anybody to play mago with. That's one. Secondly, the Nigi, I said some of them petition. One of them petitioned me. I don't know, but the Okaile of Egbai called me, and the Ojonwe. So, but I told them that I need a copy. So, but maybe God willing, I might have to go to Egbai to check up on them, because they actually believe so much in our works. To check up on them, to actually ask what is going on. I might have to go, but I don't know when, as the God and our ancestors direct, so that we can check up on our people, so that nobody can intimidate them for standing for their own right. Now, if they want to petition me, they should go ahead. Hey, police, stay here, and we'll meet them there. All right. If they want to arrest, I could send them my house address. They do arrest. That will make them feel good. If it was Izoduwa that told them to go and write that sacrilegious letter that they wrote, so they said, according to what I heard from one, he said it was we that influenced the Oba to suspend Ogegba, ex Enoge, to suspend Mr. Edomo Yabidumoyi Manatiye on the Makame. Who the fuck am I that I will influence the decision of the Oba of Benin? Abime, who am I? I'm just a young man who is. How can I influence? So are they not supposed to know that I'm too small to even influence the decision of the Oba of Benin? I don't get. Is it that, let me not say things here. How would an elder think that a whole small boy like me will influence the decision of the Oba to suspend an atrocity committed by them? mo aswa no we aswa yan agbe the letter bi mo we warning yan agbe the letter. Am I understanding? While they just reacted, we all reacted that what they were doing was wrong, that they should recall that decision, but they were still proving stubborn. I mean, I did me and Izoduwa, but this time Izoduwa we will meet anywhere they say we want to meet. So that's that one. Then anyone wa domo. Owo tonoro when you want to buy genuine land, I will hook you up. So very, very important. Owo tonoro. Why mia? If you are not buying from me, you should be able to tell your friends that Oyuwa, Ochunwa, Oshiwa is a developer, and Mr. IGB Chris, I spoke with Mr. Tony Edo. Oh yeah, he had a Japan here now. All those Japanese guests, very beautiful. Why they clubby well. So, but the Japanese guests he get there, but those are side attraction. Those are side attraction. But I've always wanted to come to Japan. Let me come to Japan and then meet with the Edo community in Japan. You understand? So I want to come to Japan this year. So, but I Tony Edo, so that you people should start meeting and talking. I think he said he was going to call. You want him out, Tony Edo. So Wagwan. I think during the week I will call. I have a conference call, Kugbe, so that we can do all of those modalities. You understand? Let me come and enjoy. So far I've been in Nigeria. Yeah, maybe Nika did Japan. When Ghana by say I've only been to Ghana. So, but I want to first country. I'm going to Japan. All those Japanese fine girls. No. I'm a married man. But it's just that one side attraction anything. Those are side attraction. I'm a me by a drag moyahi. All right. The land. My number is in the public. 081 36722162. Someone can pin it on the screen. It's 081 36722162. So that's my direct number. Short plug. Short plug. Are you married, man? Okay. Side attraction. You understand? So, but I'll be in Japan this year. We'll start working on it, so that I can meet all the Edo people. Now, there are so many fantastic opportunities that the Benin should start coming home to invest. There are so many opportunities that are wasting away on this land. All right. Now, I think my next topic, I want to talk about that. Now, we should come back home and start investing. There are so many opportunities. One of our brothers just came from Egypt. He's a big boy in Egypt, Mr. Lambert. Is doing has a very big farm for snail. You know, to boy away, because I tell them that if you want to really invest here, no go away. To boy the way 081 36722162. To boy the way. So that to avoid story that touches. But if you want to invest in rehousing estates, you don't need to come. I will hook you up. 081 36722162. So I thank all of you for paying attention to everything that I have said today, and I hope I didn't also cause another wahala like they always accuse me I cause wahala. But I just want to say a piece of my mind. My beef with the governor is because he wants to balkanize the kingdom. Not liking the monarch is fine. I'm not expecting anybody to like the monarch. As a matter of fact, it is not possible. Just like he doesn't also expect everybody to like him. Alright? So, but you're not trying to not baccanize. Anybody can deny anything, or they can say Izoduwa is lying, or Izoduwa is lying. But in heart of hearts, if you think I'm lying, that Baori, why not call me? Let's talk and ask me, why do I think he's backanizing the kingdom? I'm sure that I will give you more than enough evidence to prove what I am saying. If I'm unable to now provide those evidence that is germane enough to prove what I have said or what I am saying, then fine. I can come to public and apologize. But if I am able to convince you, also will come to public to apologize to me too for saying that I'm playing politics with the palace, I'm lying, blah blah blah. And one is calling me land grabber. Marshall warning not even land grabber. They told him in 1 million our country. Or don't know, already bleaching creamy big. I don't want to mention his name. I don't want to mention his name. You understand? So I don't know. Anyone, so I think we're done. Thank all of you. May God bless you. Osalobawe Nikao or swimmer here. Came in my radio boy. The Chosano doesn't vet any cow. One waya fe. Waya ni mujia yeki Izoduwa. Na ya mi Izoduwa ma soten. Odawe do odawe gwa. Kewe odawe ni cow. Waya wese. So wala ekeke no wariri aye o dunu agbon ya fe wage giu ye dode wa awon eworio bo ba no sayi ye do oi hara no gwedo egion awe te owo we ma wa oba ihara no gwedo niaga tamawa oba ihara no gwedo tamia ya me baba ihara no gwedo a so oba ihara no gwedo oba oyedo oba edo so allow defend the prestige, the integrity of this land. This is what I've always asked. This is what is my fight, and my victory is always that wherever the Benins are all over the world, we are doing very well, and we are acknowledging the fact that we are from a lineage of kings and queens, a great lineage of so much history and greatness. So this is what I am asking. Keep the flag of Benin flying, and don't let anybody ever make you think otherwise. If you think otherwise of the greatness of what God has placed you as a Benin man by adapting your heritage, it means you are a fool. If you ever doubt your heritage, it means you are a fool. And I'm unapologetic for that. The people are envying to become Benin. Then when no weirdo we as well. Ludo away no mind rockba or mu warrior. Where do as well? A wo here, we. I could wanna buy weirdo. People would die to be an Edo man or woman. Then God has given you the rare privilege to be an Edo man or woman. Then someone will not tell you one thing that you are not even sure of against the palace, against the Oba of Benin. Then you believe them. It means you are a fool. It means, what it means is that you will die. Nobody remains you, but we will continue to enjoy the greatness of the history of this land. Eri only tie. Wa nibu kongbe. if one women. So when I hear some of you talking nonsense with your mouth, you are swim and do your zwonumakon. People will die to be a Benin man or woman. Then God gave you that privilege, that rare privilege as a Benin man or Benin woman. Look, the one useless Igbo or one Yoruba or what whatever. No, people who does not know. The people you listen to their history is people who does not even have primary 6 certificates. We get damn it. You know, we time why you we time we get damn it because the social media do me well. Free data. Anyway, Obama talk by say. All right, I thank you.